Want to see the culture of Mexico City in a nutshell? Then head over to the Zocalo. The Zocalo is the main square in central Mexico City and a very popular destination not only for the tourists, but for the locals as well. This video will ensure you know your way around this place like the back of your hand. Come on, let's kick it off. Now, if you ever plan on being in Mexico City, this place is a must. This is the Zocalo. This is the symbolic heart of all of Mexico City. There's like a 3-in-1 in this place. You have the Mexican government, then you have the Metropolitan Cathedral, and then all the way behind me right there, you have the ruins of the Templo Mayor. Now, another reason why the Zocalo is such an iconic place in Mexico is because back in the 14th century, the Aztecs reigned supreme in this land. This was their stronghold. This was the capital of the entire Aztec Empire, which back then was called Tenochtitlan, which was created in 1325. Now, fast forward to today, right now the Zocalo represents the dual heritage of all of Mexico, which is Spanish and Aztec. The first thing that will easily strike you is the fact that there are real Aztec Indians still alive to this day. Not only alive, but loud and proud to show they are here in the Zocalo, where their people once reigned supreme over the land. Aztec dancers, also known as concheros, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, dress themselves in feather headgear, the skulls and pelts of jaguars or coyotes, and dance to pre-Columbian traditions in order to reconnect and strengthen their indigenous roots. The Aztec culture is very much still alive here, right behind the Templo Mayor, right here. They come here every day and perform rituals and dances and ceremonies, and it's really cool. So they come here every day, right here in the Zocalo, right next to the Templo Mayor, right in front of the cathedral, the Metropolitan Cathedral. Do not miss it. If you're in the Zocalo, it'll be pretty hard to hear. It'll be pretty hard to miss this if you're around. They also practice purification rituals involving burning copal, a type of resin, in order to ward off bad, evil spirits. People from all over, tourists and locals, come to participate in this purification process carried out by experienced indigenous people. Real life blood related to the pre-Columbian Aztecs back as far as the 15th century. The people look to continue their traditions by educating others and even passing their traditions on to their children. There are also cool artisans and Aztec artifacts that are sold along the streets of the Zocalo. Make sure you bring cash, no credit is accepted. As the Aztecs perform their ceremonies, right behind them stands one of Mexico's most treasured architectural masterpieces and Latin America's largest and oldest cathedral. Now, this is the Metropolitan Cathedral, one of the most iconic buildings in all of Mexico City. And one of the main goals of the Spaniards was the spread of Christianity. So after the Spaniards already conquered Mexico City, which was Tenochtitlan, Hernan Cortes left, and then he went to Honduras, and then when he came back, he decided to build this church. And it took over 250 years to build. And they decided to build it on top of the Aztec ruins of what was the Templo Mayor, which was one of the sacred temples where the Emperor Montezuma of the Aztecs used to live. The Spaniards pulled up to Tenochtitlan, saw the Aztecs' bloody temples from all their human sacrifices, and said, yeah, we're not doing that anymore. Let's try this. It's called Christianity with Jesus, where there is lots of praying and kneeling and free wine. It sounds like a good trade-off to being sacrificed. The Metropolitan Cathedral not only symbolizes the religious significance of the country, but also contains the 5 centuries worth of Mexican art and architecture. This cathedral, along with the miracle of the Virgin de Guadalupe in 1531, that set the stage for Christianity, to this day to be the religion of the country of Mexico. Not too far from here, you can find the gravesite of the most famous and successful Spanish conquistador in history, Hernan Cortes. You might have heard of him. Hernan Cortes paved the way to defeat the Aztec Empire, along with neighboring Indian tribes who also wanted to see their Aztec oppressors fall. It probably went something like this. I hate the Aztecs. We want them gone. All right, you're strong. I'm strong. Let's beat them together.
Can we trust these fools?
Being sacrificed by the Aztecs sounds bad, but teaming up with these people sounds worse. We can't fight these savages, boss. They can't be trusted. But the leaders from each group were able to see that they needed each other, so they put their differences aside and joined forces. And that's how this beautiful love-hate relationship between the native Indians of the Tlaxcala and the Spaniards started. And other tribes would follow in the footsteps to join Hernan Cortes on his quest to conquer their oppressors, the Aztecs. Kinda bad news for Emperor Montezuma of the Aztecs. Sorry, Montec. But what do you expect when you slaughter 84,000 people in 4 days as a sacrifice? You'll probably create a few enemies here and there. A lot of people had mixed feelings about this man, but without a doubt, he is a significant person in the history of the Mexican people, and going to his gravesite is something to witness to continue to experience the journey of Mexican history. It could be found here on the Avenida de Pino Suarez. Again, not too far from here, you will find the temple of the last Aztec emperor in history, the famous Templo Mayor. It's literally right across from the cathedral facing each other. Like I said, the Zocalo is the raw representation of Mexico City's dual heritage. It's like mom and dad. And it's kind of ironic because when the Spaniards came here to the Templo Mayor, they said that it reeked of sangre, of blood, because right here, one of the rituals of the Aztecs was to decapitate and rip the hearts out of their own people as an offering to their pagan gods. You can even find skulls throughout the Templo Mayor that was buried here. And that's why they were able to smell it. It was stained in the stones. And then after the Spaniards destroyed it, they decided to use some of the remaining stones. They cleaned it off to create the cathedral, which I just think it's a little bit ironic that they used the stones that were used to kill people as the cathedral. Both these roots are what makes Mexico today. The Templo Mayor was the most significant of all the temples, located in the heart of the city capital of Tenochtitlan. The Templo Mayor for Tenochtitlan and the Aztecs is like the Colosseum for the Roman Empire of the Romans, in terms of national symbolism, significance, and culture. With that being said, the Spanish decided to obliterate it. Oof. The Aztecs just don't seem to catch a break. Until it was recently found in 1978 when electrical workers, while digging near the main plaza, found a carved stone of a dismembered and decapitated woman. Imagine coming back from work and telling your friends about that shift on the job. That's just wild. I also highly recommend going to this amazing balcony restaurant called El Mayor. Wonder why they named it that. It has the most amazing view of the entire Zocalo. You can see clear as day the Templo Mayor, the cathedral, the Mexican government building, and even hear the Aztecs dancing all the way down in the square, all while the sun sets across the horizon. And they have delicious drinks too. That's just a plus. I hope this video has given you a better idea of what the Zocalo is, and maybe even motivate you to go see this beauty for yourself. Consider planning a whole day just being in this square. There is clearly so much to do and see and explore. There is literally nothing boring about this place at all. If you're an eager traveler wanting to really get a taste of authentic Mexican culture and their history, go to the Zocalo. You won't be disappointed. If you found this video helpful, please leave a like, and while you're at it, subscribe to my channel. Leave a comment if you have any questions about the Zocalo or anything Mexico City related. That's all, folks. Safe travels.